My name is Alexis and I am a sophomore at Reading Memorial High School. First surfaced in first grade. I was extremely worried about normal things like the bells before and after school and deadlines, and I was in first grade. We didn't have a lot of homework, so I knew that I shouldn't have been worried, and so I went to a therapist and got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I think that help is available, but I think it's hard to reach out and ask for help because sometimes people who have a mental illness are afraid that they'll be seen as different or that their mental illness will be invalidated by people because it's not a physical illness, but at the same time it is because it is a chemical imbalance.
In general, yes, there are therapists and people out there who are willing to help. However, another issue is that within various environments, these people are sort of subjected to the same sort of things that everyone else is going through, and as a result are kind of crumbling under the pressure.
I think that in schools and whatnot, help is readily available, if unnecessarily so, because a lot of times people with special needs are completely separated from other classes and whatnot. But I feel that that may be unnecessary, and if they are just paid more attention to in classes, that it might be more useful than just complete segregation.
I think that there's a misconception that mental illness is different, like I had stated before, than a physical illness, but it's not. And I don't think that we should really be treated any differently, because a lot of people say, oh, you have a mental illness, you're crazy, you're weird. But that's not really true, because I know a lot of people who have mental illnesses, but you wouldn't really know it. So when you're opening up to your friends, you could lose friends sometimes. I have had that happen. And so I think that people should know that you don't have to treat anyone differently, and you should be there to support your friends if they have mental illness.
The pressures of society have influenced it, because in this day and age, it's a lot more about image rather than social standing or personality. So many people are more worried about things such as the way they look or their grades, or just much more stressful things than if you were to look 150 years back and see what people were worried about then. Even just a few decades back, you could see how different their everyday struggles would have been.
I feel like society is just a lot harder to get through, especially for kids today. For example, school is a lot more difficult than it was before. The social atmosphere is a lot more tense. People are a lot more cliquey than they were before, and as a result, things are just far more difficult for kids today.
I would say that society has influenced my anxiety a little bit, just because society is kind of building up and everyone's always racing to do something with their life now, and there's just so much pressure to get something done in the short time that you have. So I would say that definitely impacts how I feel about my future and definitely worsens my anxiety.
Because of the advances of technology, more people are surviving, and as a result, mental illnesses are becoming more common. Also benefited by the fact that, in general, society is becoming much more stressful. It's becoming harder and harder for kids today.
I do believe that mental health illnesses are becoming more common, mainly due to a more stressful society that is being created through social media and just general pressures of modern life.
I feel like social media, at least for me, it's always kind of helped me, just because I've met some of my friends through sites like Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram, and I think if I didn't have some of those friends who weren't a part of the people I see in real life, I think it would be harder to find a place to kind of escape when the pressures of actual life start to get worse. It's easier for me to go talk to my other friends that I don't really know in person sometimes. So I would say that it has helped, but yet I could see the side where people might think it would worsen. But for me personally, it's always helped.
It probably worsens it. I mean, personally, I don't have it, but from what I gather, it's more or less planting a fake image of yourself outside that everyone sees, and as a result, it just causes more anxiety, more social pressure that you think is there, and it worsens everything.
Social media absolutely does not benefit the stresses of everyday life and thus the stresses of special needs or those afflicted with mental illnesses, because it portrays oneself as you can portray yourself as anything basically, and through that it causes, I'm not sure how to put it, but it causes a fake personality to develop online, and through that one can live out a life that is not theirs, and thus causing stresses about how they look online as well as in the real world.
I feel like it's pretty difficult. I mean, I know for a fact that I don't have it as hard as them, that I can't possibly understand what they're going through because I'm not going through it myself. And it's just kind of really difficult because as a person who can't understand what they're going through, I feel like I try to be there, but I don't know if what I'm doing is enough.
I would say it's hard to go about life with anxiety because I'm always worrying about something, and I am always wondering what's gonna happen, even if there's nothing to worry about. I always feel like something's gonna happen, and sometimes that can trigger panic attacks for me, which makes it really hard to stay in school or go places. And so I'd say that definitely affects my life in a pretty bad way.
Personally, the people who I know who are afflicted with mental illnesses, they are definitely seen in much more distress than others. I often work personally with them to help them through their issues the best I can. And while it does not always help, I like to think that more times than not it does.